Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari जमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारे जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद शिवांग्रेशल अरविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन बेबड़ी फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद शिवांग्रेशल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रज में वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय समावित भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the simple devotees all glories to the simple devotees all glories to the simple devotees all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gaura Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. This is the song sung by Lord Shiva, and continuing to today's verses 45 and 46. Nigdha स्निग्धप्रावृन्दघनश्यामम् सर्वसौन्दर्यसङ्ग्रहम् चार्वायत चतुर्बाहो सुजातरुचिनाननम् पद्मकोशपलाक्षाक्षम् सुन्दरभ्रूसुनासिकम् सुद्विजं सुमुखपालस्य सर्वकर्म कर्णविभूषणम् स्निग्धप्रावृन्दघनश्यामम् सर्वसौन्दर्यसङ्ग्रहम् चार्वयतश्चतुर्बाहो सुजातरुचिनाननम् पद्मकोशपलाशाक्षम् सुन्दरभ्रूसुनासिकम् सुद्विजं सुकपालस्यम् समकर्णविभूषणम् स्निग्धप्रावृद्धघनश्यामम् सर्वसौन्दर्यसङ्ग्रहम् चार्वायतच्चतुर्बाहो सुजातरुचिनाननम् पद्मकोशपलाशाक्षम् सुन्दरभ्रूसुनासिकम् तुद्विजं सुलकपालस्फोलस्याम् समकर्णविभूषणम् मदर snigdha, glistening, pravrat, rainy season, ghanashyama, densely cloudy, sarva, all, saundarya, beauty, sangraham, collection, charu, beautiful, ayata, bodily features, chatubahu, and to the forearm, sujata, ultimately beautiful, ruchira, very pleasing, ananam, face, padmakosha, the world of lotus flower, palasha, petals, aksham, eyes, sundara, beautiful, brew, eyebrows, sunasikam, raised nose, sutrijam, beautiful teeth, subkapola, beautiful forehead, asyam, the face, samakarna, equally beautiful ears, vibhushanam, fully decorated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Lord's beauty resembles a dark cloud during the rainy season. As the rainfall glistens, His bodily features also glisten. Indeed, He is the sum total of all beauty. The Lord has 4 arms and an exquisitely beautiful face with eyes like lotus petals, a beautiful, highly raised nose, a mind attracting smile, a beautiful forehead, and equally beautiful and fully decorated ears. After the scorching heat of the summer season, it is very pleasing to see dark clouds in the sky, as confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Barahavas, Barahavasantam, uh, Asitam Buddha Sundarangam. And the Lord wears a peacock feather in his hair, and his bodily complexion is just like a blackish cloud. The word Sundar or Snigdha means very pleasing. Kandharpa Koti Kamaniya. Krishna's beauty is also pleasing, that not even millions upon millions of cupids can compare to it. The Lord's form as Vishnu is decorated in all opulence. Therefore, Lord Shiva is trying to see the most opulent form of Narayan or Vishnu. Generally, the worship of the Lord begins with the worship of Narayan or Vishnu, whereas the worship of Lord Krishna and Radha is the most confidential. Lord Narayan is worshipable by Pancharatrika Vidhi or regulative principles, where Lord Shri Krishna is worshipable by Bhagavat Vidhi. No one can worship the Lord in Bhagavat Vidhi without going through the regulations of the Pancharatrika Vidhi. Actually, neophyte devotees worship the Lord according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi or the regulative principles enjoyed in the Narad Pancharatra. Radha Krishna cannot be approached by the neophyte devotees. Therefore, the temple worship according to the regulative principles is offered to Lakshmi Narayan. Although there may be Radha Krishna Vigraha or form of worship, and the worship of neophyte devotees is acceptable as Lakshmi Narayan worship. Worship according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi is Vidhi Marg, and worship according to the Bhagavad Vidhi is called Ragamarg. The principle of Ragamarg are especially meant for the devotees who are elevated to Vrindavan platform. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and cowherd boys, the cows, and everyone else are actually on Ragamarg or Bhagavad Marg platform. They, they participate in 5 basic rasas, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and Shanta. But although These five rasas are found in Bhagavat Marg. The Bhagavat Marg is especially meant for the Vasalya and Madhurya or paternal and conjugal relationships. Yet there is a Vipralamba Sakhya, the higher fraternal worship of the Lord, especially enjoyed by the cowherd boys. Although there is friendship between Krishna and cowherd boys, this friendship is different from the Aishwarya friendship of Lord Shri Krishna and Arjun. Lord, Arjun saw the Vishwarupa, the gigantic universal form of the Lord. He was afraid of having uh, treated Krishna as an ordinary friend. Therefore, he begged Krishna's pardon. However, the cowherd boys who are friends of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan sometimes ride on the one shoulder of Lord Krishna. They treat Krishna equally, just as they treat one another, and they are never afraid of him, nor do they ever beg his pardon. Thus, the Ragamarg and Bhagavad Marg, or the Bhagavad Marg, friendship exists on a higher platform with Krishna, namely the platform of a Pralamba friendship. Paternal friendship, paternal service, and conjugal service are visible in Vrindavan Ragamarga relationships. Without serving Krishna according to the Vidhi Marg regulative principles of the Pancharatriti Vidhi, unscrupulous persons want to jump immediately to Ragamarg principles. Such persons are called Sahajiya. There are also demons who enjoy depicting Krishna and his pastimes with the gopis, taking advantage of Krishna by their uh, lic- you know, licentious character. These demons who print books and write lyrics on the Ragamarg principle are surely on the way to hell. Unfortunately, they'll lead others down with them. Devotees in Krishna consciousness should be careful to avoid such demons. One should strictly follow the Vidhi Marg regulative principles in the worship of Lakshmi Narayan, although the Lord is present in the temple as Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna includes Lakshmi Narayan. Therefore, when one worships the Lord according to the regulative principles, the Lord accepts the service of the role of Lakshmi Narayan. In the Nectar of Devotion, full instructions are given about the Vidhi Marg worshippers of Radha Krishna or Lakshmi Narayan. Although there are 64 kinds of offense one can commit in Vidhi Marg worship, in Raga Marg worship there is no consideration of such offense because the devotee on that platform are very much elevated and there is no question of an offense. But if we do not follow the regulative principles on the Vidhi Marg uh, platform, and keep our eyes trained to spot offenses, we will not make progress. In his description of Krishna's beauty, Lord Shiva uses the word uh, charvan and ayata chaturbahu sujata ruchinanam indicates that beautiful forearm of Narayan or Vishnu. Those who worship Lord Krishna describe him as Sujata Ruchinanam. In the Vishnu Tattva, there are hundreds and thousands of millions of forms of the Supreme Lord. But of all the forms, the form of Krishna is the most beautiful. Thus, for those who worship Krishna, the word Sujata Ruchinanam is used. The four-armed of Lord Vishnu have different purposes. The hand holding the lotus flower, conch shell are meant for the devotees, whereas the other two hands holding the disc and mace or the club are meant for the demons. Actually, all of the Lord's arms are auspicious, whether they are holding conch shell and flower or club and disc. The demons killed by Lord Vishnu's chakra and disc and club are elevated to the spiritual world, just like the devotees who are protected by the hands of holding the lotus flower and conch shell. However, the demons who are elevated to the spiritual world are situated in impersonal permanent effulgence, whereas the devotees are allowed to enter into Vaikuntha planets. Those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are immediately elevated to Golok Vrindavan planet. Uh, the Lord beauty is compared to rainfall because when the rain falls in the rainy season, it becomes more and more pleasing to people. After the scorching heat of the summer season, the people enjoy the rainy season very much. Indeed, they even come out of their doors in the village and enjoy the rainfall directly. Thus, the Lord's bodily features are compared to the rain clouds in the rainy season. The devotees enjoy the Lord's beauty because it's a collection of all kinds of beauty. Therefore, the word Sarva Saundarya Sangraham is used. And no one can say that the body of the Lord is wanting in beautiful parts. It is completely Purnam, everything is complete. Lord's creation, Lord's beauty, the Lord's bodily features, all these are so complete that all one's desire can become fully satisfied when one sees the beauty of the Lord. The word Sarva Saundarya indicates that there are different types of beauties in material and spiritual worlds, and that the Lord contains all of them. Both materialist and spiritualist can enjoy the beauty of the Lord because the Supreme Lord attracts everyone, including demons and devotees, materialistics and spiritualists. Uh, he is called Krishna. Similarly, his devotees also attract everyone. As mentioned in the Shad Goswami Stotra Dhira Dhira Janapriya, the Goswamis are equally dear to the Dhira devotees and Adhira demons. Lord Krishna was not very pleasing to the demons when he was present in Vrindavan, but the six Goswamis were pleasing to the demons when they were present in Vrindavan. And that is the beauty of the Lord's dealing with his devotees. Sometimes the Lord gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. For instance, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna fought simply by giving directions. Yet it was Arjun who took the credit for fighting. Nimittamatram bhavesabhyasachin. You also, Sabyasachi Arjun, can be but an instrument in the fight. Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, 33rd verse. Everything was arranged by the Lord, but the credit of victory was given to Arjun. Similarly, in Krishna consciousness movement, everything is happening according to the predictions of Lord Chaitanya, but the credit goes to the Chaitanya's sincere servants. Thus, the Lord is described herein as Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathantam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. These two verses are so beautiful. Only Lord Shiva can sing. But the explanation Srila Prabhupada gave is very, very informative for us. Those who are in Krishna consciousness and practicing bhakti, the tenets of bhakti, and especially when Vigraha Seva is there, the form of the Lord is in stone. We are not Murti Pujaks, but we are Vigraha Seva. Why? There is a basic understanding even in Ayurveda. The body denotes about 13 names to particular functionality of the body. Where Vigraha is one of the names of the body. Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita so many names like Dehi Nosmin Yatha Dehe. The Deha is one of the name of the body. But Ayurvedic understanding is Deha means Chiyate iti Deha. The one is capable of metabolic activities is called Deha. Jiryate Shiryate iti Sharira. The one that grows and dwindles is called Sharira. I mean, very meaningful because of the functions of the thing. Tanu means it is form of the body. Tanu means the form of the body, exactly looking like the mother. But the mother who gives the body, she has a capability of giving the birth. So the child is called Tanuja, came from the body of the mother. Then Varshma. Varshma is the functionality of reproductive system. That name is there. Similarly, Vigraha. Vigraha means one which is capable of exchanging our sentient feelings. And Pujari is not a robot. He is taught how to worship by Pancharatri ki vidhi. We do not worship with Ragamarga vidhi. Otherwise, we will fall victim to Sahajiya system. Sahaj Bhav. Sahaj Bhav is emerging from our materialistic mind. Mind accepts sensuous thing and rejects something which is unpleasant to the body. But the intelligence accepts what is real and rejects what is unreal. So if you are intelligent, then you have to look for your reality and reject the temporality. That is the function of the body. So Buddhi Yoga that Krishna describes in second chapter is nothing but Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga accepts only the reality aspects of behavior. How do we behave? How do we behave with the deities? Prabhupada is describing very elaborately why, even though we have Radha Krishna deity, yet we are supposed to perform the process of devotional service as if it is for Lord Vishnu, Lakshmi Narayan. Because Lakshmi Narayan, they reside in Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, only awe and reverence is prevalent. There are no other reciprocation either through Sakhya Dasya, Sakhya Vatsalya or Madhuri. Four rasas are absent in Vaikuntha. Rare examples are there. Prithu Maharaj, after performing all his duties and karmakanda and everything. Then he retired. Then he developed affinity to serve in Vaikuntha in a motherly affection to Lakshmi Devi. So they say he was a rare example that he can, because he was an empowered incarnation anyway, right? So the opulent part, because he had a function to make the earth opulent, earth opulent. Before he came, Vena, from whose body, dead body, the upper limbs were churned by the rishis and they produced Pruthu and Archi, Lakshmi Narayan, empowered incarnation. Both came out. So the point is that we have to understand the essentiality of awe and reverence. So unless and until we are taught in the temple awe and reverence, we will not be able to enter into the functionality of parabhakti or the real bhakti that is called spontaneous devotional service of Ragamarg. So, pre-qualifying situation, Prabhupada is describing here for Vidhi Bhakti. Vidhi Bhakti or Pancharatriki Vidhi. Narada Pancharatra is describing how he has to be worshipped. Because Krishna is also describing Uddhava in 11th canto about the worship, how he would be worshipped. So we have to learn from that. You cannot jump up in loving devotional service with Krishna. You cannot even express. In Vrindavan, Radha Shyamsundar is residing on the third altar, and most of the crowd is there. Why? Are they on Ragamarg? So watch out. But we have to observe an etiquette to tell them that please give others to have darshan. You can appreciate the beauty, but Lord Shiva's explanation and glorifying the beauty in comparison to that we can simply enjoy, at least on a comparative manifested material opulences. Krishna's beauty is like Ghanashyam, a rainy cloud. Ghana is rainy cloud. It's not an ordinary cloud. And the hue of Ghanashyam is, which is heavily laden with water in it. And Radharani is addressed as Tadita or Saudamini, the electric charge. Why these comparisons are? Because they are in our experience of material. So, comparativity and the highest material understanding, at least this allegory or comparative, words are used. But in Ragamarg, everything is violated. And Srila Prabhupada would, tell that these young cowherd boys, what kind of heaps of pious activities they must have done, that they are playing with the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead and disregarding all the formalities of Vidhi Bhakti. Hmm? So they must be in Ragamarg. All the characters of the description in Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, like Gopis, Nanda Baba, and Yashoda, they are all Ragamarg. And the Gopis showed us how to enter into the Ragamarg. So there are two systems. In our early time to learn is Vidhi Marg is there. But Vidhi Marg, without the support of Ragamarg in behind the curtain is there. Uh, we become very regulated in practice. Uh, we are not on a spontaneous level, right? So we are taught rise early, do your toothbrush and everything, and then take bath, uh, put up tilak, do Ajman. And so this is regulated principles. They are in Vidima. They come in Pancharatki Vidhi to make our activity conducive to develop in future when we are matured to Ragamar. So Rupa Goswami also gave us the Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg uh, in a sequence how it can be developed. Adav Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Atha Bhajana Kriya, Atha Anartha Nivritti. Shyat. These four stages are describing the Vidhi Marg. To develop faith, which is unflinching, you have to associate with the sadhus, those who are purified. You have to enter into bhajan kriya in their footsteps, right? Then anartha nivritti. We have to eradicate unwanted things in our lives that are hampering into development of pure devotional service. So these are the four stages, very important. The fifth stage is nishtha. Nishtha is confirmation. Nishtha is also a stage of liberation. After the liberation, real bhakti will start. So ruchi, asakti, bhav and prem, they are belonging to the ragamar. The first four belonging to vidhi marg, right? So Krishna says, Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochoti na kankshati samat sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. When one becomes liberated, then and then he gets parabhakti, means very high grade internal devotional service. So we have to become gradually qualified to enter into parabhakti. We can't demonstrate parabhakti. That is bhavatmak superiority of the mind. But Krishna Bhavana, accept what is in the mind of Lord Krishna. Make your mind conduct those activities in Krishna's consciousness, not your consciousness. Our consciousness is polluted, and it can be only purified by accepting Krishna's consciousness. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the beginning where Shravanam and Kirtanam will be there. Where our senses will be purified. Uh, sense of touch will be purified if you engage in uh, serving the temple, serving. And so many different kinds of services are there to sweep the Lord. It is also through the sense of touch. Take Krishna Prasadam. It is a service of the tongue. Don't eat any garbage unoffered to Krishna. This is the service of the tongue. Enjoy what Krishna enjoyed. So do not taste while you cook. You are supposed to be a servant. Engage your tongue in the service of Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna, vibration is also the service, but tasting Krishna Prasad is also service. Eating. Here, don't hear garbage. Here, only Krishna Katha. In the association, we do not speak anything garbage, whatever is. So, it purifies not only ears, but hearing sense also. Actually, all the five senses were created after the objects of the senses were created. And Krishna created the first was sound. The very first was sound. And for the sound, you have to have ears and hearing sense. So three are there, but the five senses were simultaneously created, one after another. The last one was for the very, what you call, easily going to be polluted. Yehi spansasya bhoga dukkhayanaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nate ramateshu buddha. If you are intelligent, then you understand the sansparsaja bhoga, the objects of sense gratification that come in touch of the senses. They are the very breeding ground for miseries. Why do we have miseries in our life? This is the reason. Even the animals have sansparsaja bhoga. Why men should act like animals? What is the glory to be an animal? So when we hear pure devotees like Lord Shiva, glorify the beauty of the Lord, it has a very meaningful. Brahma also glorifies. It's called Viranchi Gita. And when Lord Shiva glorifies, it's called Rudra Gita. Remember, Lord Shiva taught Rudra Gita to Prachetas. So, those who have controlled the senses, they are liberated. Those who cannot control the senses, they are still in the material nature. All these are not simply allegories. Allegory means rupak, or how to compare. The Lord is even material comparison that leads to the spiritual understanding is coming with choicest words. Choicest words. Very appropriate. It's not a hazy meaning, but very clear meaning. So, in Sanskrit, everything becomes so much punctual and clarifying by itself. So therefore, in this language, whatever has been created, it has divine nature. Divine nature. Divine nature has to be understood. Janma karma cha me divyam evam vettiyo tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorja. One is supposed to understand the divine nature, divine appearance and activities of Lord Krishna. If we are able to understand and employ in our activities of devotional service, then tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. Okay. So this is pretty clear and very informative. Many times, devotees are unable to answer, why do you do this? Why do you do that? What is the meaning of fanning the chamara? What is the meaning of Baba, all the earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the five elements are making the bodily constitution. We are offering that material constitution who created back to him. Why do we take arti and not even touch chamar after waving? Only why? Why do we need to take arti and put on our eyes? Tej. Tej means Brahma Tej. It is the representative of divine energy that opens our eyes and we are able to see as the things are. Let our eyes be anointed with the mercy of the Lord through the divine flames. Why do we worship the sun god? Why? Because he is a representative of the divine energy that makes the life possible. In Savitra Gayatri, why do you put the word Om in the beginning? What he has to do, because there are so many suns, in every universe, the Gayatri remains the same. Why do you put Om? In the beginning, there was the word and the word was Om. Even Bible takes this. They say, what is God? But what doesn't mean, syllable? The combination of the syllable that they are, say, G-O-D. But we have only one syllable, Om. Om Tat Saditi, Nirdesha Brahmanastita. And Krishna glorifies Om, Tat, and Sat, because these words are utilized to indicate the supreme absolute truth in Satya Yoga, Trita, and Papa. For charity, Sat is Tat, for Yajna Vidhi, and Om Swaha is combined. Any act of sacrifice is denoted with the word Om. And all these activities, that is austerity, yajna, and charity, they are purifying. Not tyajamiti. Krishna advises, do not give them up. They are always purifying. So, in Vidhi Marg, we have to accept our bodily conception to be engaged in service of the transcendence. Bodily conceptions are there. After all, they have been created for the purpose of sacrifice or offering. They are supposed to serve. Our senses are meant to serve the Supreme. Rishikena Rishikesam Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Rishik means senses. The senses are supposed to engage in the service of Rishikesh, the master of the senses, Lord Shri Krishna. And that engagement is called bhakti. Very simple. Bhakti is not like manchanga to katharot me ganga. It's not an activity of mind. Dustamana to kisera Vaishnava. So it depends upon, it's a self-examination that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj teaches us that your mind is crooked. How to tame the mind? Just beat him up. Beat him up. When you wake up, you have to take the broom and start beating your mind. Sometimes you harass your mummy, right? Because the mind is stupid. Okay? So when you wake up, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati beat your mind with the broom. And when you go to sleep, beat again with the shoes. Always keep shoes when you sleep near. You may need it. So, Vidhi Bhakti is composed of the regulative principles. In Ragamarg, that is internal bhajan, that's called Parabhakti, which starts after liberation from bodily conception of life. Bhakti continues in developing proper taste, ruchi. Then you have to become attached to particular ruchi. How do you develop ruchi? In internal bhajan, the amnaya process has been also described by Haridas Thakur and Harinam Chintama. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jaiva Dharma expresses in details. So, bhakti is not that simple, but bhakti is available to everyone. That's why it is common. A common thing may not be simple. You may think eating process is very simple because everybody does. But that's about eating. Your responsibility is over. Then why do you get stomach ache? Why do you have to go through the doctor? Some irresponsibility has been carried on. As usually we say, you want to eat anything and everything garbage, and then you tell Krishna to digest your food because you cannot digest. You simply eat. You digest. No, Krishna digests. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamasritam Pranapana Samayuktam Prachanyam Chaturvidam. So, our obligation should be complete. And when we are aware, then we can become healthy. Yuktahara viharascha, yukta chestasu karmashu, yukta swapnava abodhasya, yogo bhakvati dukkha. Is the responsibility. Eating is not the only responsibility. We become oblivious and forget even what we ate yesterday. And we like something, even though they are not healthy for us, we keep on eating and then we end up at the doctor's place. This is due to ignorance. So all these processes are comprising of these two major things, Vidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. In Raganuga Bhakti, you have to develop uh, your position, attachment, or affinity to which particular kind under Krishna's assistance, like Sakhis, Manjaris. Why are they there? And uh, when a pure devotee leaves the body, like Srila Prabhupada left the body, why do we glorify him after his departure? Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Astottara Sata Sri Srimad. What is this Astottara Sata? Astottar means? Sata means 108. There are principal gopis. The Prabhupada joined in their line. That is the destination, to enter into Krishna Lila. Oh, just think and you are gone in Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan. No, it's not that easy. Learn how to get rid of the bodily conception of life and enter into uh, uh, very carefully guided Raganuga Bhakti. People are very, very anxious and even though they are not qualified, they want to jump into. So there is a common saying, even in Christianity, they say, fools rush in where the angels trade to fear. Fear to trade that path. So we have to be very careful. Don't be dragged by the mind's impulsiveness, guided by sankalpa and tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti. In this way, Krishna helps us to reach to him. We can't cut short. We can't bypass. In material life, we always look into bypassing the clandestine, process. Cut short. But you can't cut short in Krishna consciousness. Go systematically, stage-wise development is necessary, and Krishna will bless us. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. Is there any question or comments? Yes. Do you need the mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much. Very important topic, but yet explained very simple and easy way. My question was about Premananda Swami Maharaj.
Oh my God, don't talk of it. It doesn't represent any particular sampradaya. It's a Sahajiya sampradaya. He joined Radha Vallabhi sampradaya of Hit Hari Vansh. And Hit Hari Vansh does not come into any fourth sampradaya that is essential. So, that's a Sahajiya thing. He may know some quotations here and there of Rupa Goswami. Everybody uses Rupa Goswami's quotation of bhakti. Even Kripalu was using. But what is his authority in disciplic succession? Prabhupada said it's not bona fide. I don't know why people are so much enamored by such, twinkling star. People are crazy because this is Sahajiya. Prabhupada saved us from this Sahajiya thing. Everybody in the beginning is Sahajiya because they were depending upon the mind. But here in Krishna consciousness, you have to keep up your intelligence straight. It's not a manodharma. We are not manodharmi. Buddhi yoga. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupaya. Buddhi yoga is bhakti yoga. Bhakti is not sentimental, not a sahajiya movement. Prabhupada saved us not to get into straight. Somebody may have gone to visit. That doesn't mean it's authorized. Prabhupada wouldn't care. Except that group of him who is wearing the dress like that. And he claims that he got initiated by the pujari of Radha Vallabh. Where is the disciplic succession? Yes. Prabhu, can you pass on that?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. When we say that mind needs to be controlled and we need to hit them by brooms and shoes. So at current stage, do we say that anything which is told by mind should not be agreed upon, and we should always try to negate and not to hear the demands of mind?
The intelligence will force the mind to think about Krishna, talk about Krishna, act about Krishna. Then and then the mind will be controlled. We are not a sentimental movement. So we do not give importance to the mind. Mind must be engaged because it is the reservoir of all these perceptions of five senses. But mind itself cannot discriminate what is real and what is unreal. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate asat. Ubayoropi drashto antatakvadarshiti. If you are a seeker of truth, then you should know that for eternal there is no cessation, and for temporary there is no endurance. Mind cannot endure. It flickers. Do you have a steady mind? It changes according to your circumstances.
Bhava which we get, is it rising from the mind or intelligence?
Powers are the results of, the result is actually what we call enjoyment is the ultimate result in emotions, right? But bhava precedes the emotions. And they are located in our mind because everything is related physically. Actually, these relationships are completely opposite to the spiritual relationships. Instead of soul, the relationships are based on the bodily conception, right? So mind is also in the bodily conception, and that is the real culprit. Now, how could you trust that? Therefore, understanding the spiritual emotions expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam by the gopis and other reciprocatory different races, like Gopavrinda, then Mother Yashoda, paternal relationship. So, they are purified power, not materially contaminated. It may be exactly looking like, we know this kind of thing. But our results are temporary, not everlasting. Moreover, it becomes the source of miseries instead of happiness. How can separation from Krishna becomes the highest reciprocation Krishna can give, as if Krishna is obliged to give more and more intensified emotions of love when he was separated. Actually, there is no separation in bhakti with Krishna, directly or indirectly. No separation. So you can understand the climax of the gopis in Vrindavan, who were so much absorbed in loving emotions in separation, loving emotions. Outside, neither their brain was reciprocating with Uddhav. Uddhav was speechless. He may look like Krishna, but they knew he cannot reciprocate like Krishna. That was only distinction. The gopis rejected him. And Uddhav got the lesson from gopis instead of giving them some lesson. But that is Krishna's plan. Why Krishna said to the gopis, "Na pareyaham"? Sorry, I may not be able to repay you. You have conquered me. Repay you? I mean, where is the repayment? Comes. It's only in the material world, repayment is. To make us understand that Krishna increased unlimitedly their ecstasy in separation. Ecstasy. So emotions are there, but where is the ecstasy? These people are temporary show bottles, Prabhupada prevented us. So we have to be very careful. We respect from outside anybody, even an urchin, even an ant, we have to respect. Because it's a life system. We respect the same way to anybody. But one who represents the unbroken chain of disciplic succession in order to convey the pure teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't associate with us. Prabhupada was very adamant not to associate with anybody else. Sometimes he said, even Gaudiya Math. But it doesn't mean that we have not to keep that kind of respective relationships. Because respective relationship means if we are able to offer obeisances even to an end, because it's a life system, why can't we offer to our Gaudiya seniors? We have to cultivate that humble attitude all the time to all our seniors, because it disturbs the progress of devotional service. So we should not allow them to interfere such things in disciplic succession. That's how it's important. We have to understand. We can't stop it at Srila Prabhupada and there is no disciplic succession as if that's a failure for him. No. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, at all the humility at my command, I'm sitting on this throne. And you may be thinking that I have a lot of puffed up attitude. I have the responsibility. Take up the command with all humility. Any other? Yes. In the back. Wow.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for your nice class. You were telling earlier that senses are purified by chanting, temple cleaning also purifies, yagna also purifies. So I'm trying to understand how to decide what quota to allocate for chanting, how much time for book distribution, how much for preaching, how much for temple cleaning, how to decide, how much time to allocate.
If the continuity between one service and other service remains, there is no quota. Do you think you need a vacation between the two services? No. Yena tena prakarana mana krishnam vigneshe. You should engage your, enemy, mind in service. Otherwise, mind is the genie. When you let it loose, then it will go and make you wander. Asati dhavato bahi. Manorathena asati dhavato. Let it be continued. If you have a gap between two physical service, engage your mind in chanting. Keep on. Never allow the mind to take a rest. Okay.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you for the class. Now, in this, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport about different levels of bhakti from nectar of devotion. Now, we know that we got sadhana bhakti, which is divided into Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga. And
Vidhi bhakti is sadhana bhakti.
Correct. Vidhi bhakti. And then comes the Ragatmika. Now, we also mentioned about the Sahajiya. How do we, what is the distinguishing line between, because a Raganuga follower can also be taken as, if not properly followed, as a Sahajiya. So the Sahajiyas, they don't have disciplic succession, or it's a very sentimental way, but we don't want one to jump into the Raganuga platform without perfecting the Vaidhi sadhana.
Yeah.
So how do we distinguish the Raganuga and then the Sahajiya?
If you are not liberated, you have no entry to the Raganuga. Liberation is the point. What is the position in the liberation? na shochati na kankshati,
Kankshati.
samat sarveshu bhuteshu. Then you can have entry into Raganuga. That is the point.
So it cannot happen on the
Hmm?
it cannot happen on the mental level. Should
No
be,
way.
Yeah.
You have to engage the mind. Don't let your mind dictate you.
Hmm.
Bhakti is that.
Because sometimes even when we go to Mayapur, for example,
Because we have anadikal, say, habit.
Hmm.
We have this cultivated habit from time immemorial. It will interfere. But then just give a kick, beat up the shoes. When it is required, you do it. If your mind runs okay, then you do not need to beat, right? Huh? Yeah, watch out. I get your report all the time.
so is it okay even when we are practicing, if we tend to develop some attraction towards one of the either the gopis or some personalities, is it okay to do the or meditation while doing sadhana bhakti, Vaidhana sadhana bhakti, or we should not?
See, when we are doing sadhana bhakti, when we chant Hare Krishna, with the required specification, that we have to hear each and every syllable. Make it hear. Without hearing, just vibrating is useless. So Shravanam comes first, then Kirtanam comes. Then and then Smaranam is possible. So if we cannot make a progress in the initial aspects of the Navda Bhakti, what is the fun in going and jump on the other aspects? You'll be stuck. Most of the regulative devotees are stuck at Anartha Nivrutti. That is the only stumbling block in liberation. Otherwise, however advanced we may be in quoting the Shastras and this and that, but by practice, we have to be very, very aware. Awareness cannot be misused. And you can't afford to remain unaware.
Thank you. So we cannot even enter into the bhava platform.
No?
Even up to the Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, bhava also we
Just keep it in Hava. Right now, Hava Mahal is in Hava.
it will manifest. Hava may help.
All right. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Miscellaneous Vedavyasa Swami Maharaj ki. Jai.